everyone, I'm back to do a new video, and today I want to focus on a couple things. First of all, I want to talk about the hurricane season, and then I'm going to talk about the fall forecast, which I should have done probably last month, but I didn't get to it. So, and by the way, my coworker Megan, this is for you, the whole video, because yeah, I love you. Anyways, so to start off in the pretty much Atlantic Ocean and going over into the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico, it's very interesting because we really have not seen a lot of recent activity. We've had 6 named storms so far this Atlantic season, but no hurricanes yet. And in fact, we're actually on a pace to set the record of the latest first hurricane on record. So it would be like the latest date that a hurricane is formed. We are going toward a record of that. Mainly because we just have not seen, obviously, a hurricane form yet this season, and it's getting pretty late because the peak of hurricane season is only 6 days away on the 10th of September. So that's the peak of hurricane season, and we haven't had a hurricane. And in fact, there's only been 2 other times in recorded history that has seen the first Atlantic hurricane form pretty much really far out into the season. So we're pretty much getting close to, you know, those 2 records and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of days. Now, right now, there's nothing to worry about, nothing going to, you know, slam the U.S., so you don't have to batten down the hatches or anything. We do have a little disturbed area of low pressure. You can't see it on this map because obviously it's only the United States. But down in the Caribbean, the Eastern Caribbean, there is a broad area of low pressure that is moving, you know, off to the, you know, northwest and everything, very slowly. It is supposed to go over the Dominican Republic, going into Haiti and then Cuba, and then emerge here in the Bahamas. However, if it does develop into anything, which is probably a good chance that it will develop into at least a tropical depression or storm, there is going to be a dip in the jet stream coming at the end of this week for the eastern part of the country. So it's going to pretty much block anything that's going to want to try to hit the United States or even come close. So if anything does develop, it's going to come up toward probably the Bahamas, but then it's just going to curve right back out to sea. So there's not going to be anything really to worry about in the short term. Now, the long term, we do have a couple of tropical waves and low pressures coming off of the African coast, which is where we typically find the beginnings of tropical storms and hurricanes for the month of September, for the busiest month of the hurricane season. There's a couple to monitor, but nothing right now. I mean, if there was, I would totally let you guys know. Even on Facebook and everything, I would just, you know, update you guys on the first sight of any big, you know, tropical systems to form, but really nothing to go on right now. Just a couple areas of tropical waves and low pressures that we'll monitor, and they possibly could develop into something, but right now, not to worry, so we're good on that. So basically, the hurricane season is really, it's interesting because it's not really active, and it's pretty much the right around the peak of the season. So we're going to have to see what happens over the next week or so and going into October and everything. Now, fall forecast. Just want to let you know that pretty much for the entire country as a whole for the fall, it's going to be about average for temps and precipitation. But I want to break it down a little bit to certain parts of the country. I always say specific. That's so weird. That's not specific. It's Pacific. The Pacific Northwest. There we go. About average temperatures for the months of September, October, November. That's meteorological fall, so that's the fall outlook that we go for the 3 months, September to November. Pacific Northwest. We got it. Average temperatures, average precipitation, so really not a whole big change here and everything. Going down into the southwestern part of the country, we are going to have still a fairly strong high ridge of pressure sit across this area, especially going into Texas and everything. So it is going to remain pretty much hot for the remainder of this month, especially. And then going into October, November, things will cool down. But basically, you see above average conditions. And then, unfortunately, it's going to stay dry. Really, not a whole lot of rain for the west, and unfortunately, that doesn't really help because there's a drought going on, obviously, and we've had a lot of fires pretty much in every single state in the West, and I just don't have any more better news. I wish I did, but unfortunately, not a lot of rain coming into pretty much any parts of the West. But we'll keep our fingers crossed, okay? Because you need some love out here in the West. And, you know, the Midwest feels your pain on that from last year. So, you know, hopefully we can spread some of the love and some of the rain over to the West. So, Mother Nature, just hop on it, right? Basically, yes, we are going to stick into the 90s like Dallas. Dallas has been in the 90s and 100s for the past, like, month and a half. It's going to continue pretty much for the foreseeable future. You're going to be stuck in the 90s. So, still very hot conditions. And it's going to stay relatively warm for the next couple months as well. Going into the plains and the middle section of the country, right now it's pretty warm, but going into the rest of September and then the next October and November, expect to see about average temperatures. And then going into the later part of October and early November, cannot believe I'm going to say this, but we could see our first S word, which is snow. Don't freak out. It's September 4th, and I'm using the S word already, I know. There's a chance that we could have a couple of not very cold shots, but cold enough shots of air pushing into the upper Midwest and Great Lakes region at the end of October and parts of November, where we could see our first snowfall, which would be early, pretty much, for those regions and everything. So, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't want to get everyone freaked out yet. But yes, I'm saying the S word. There's snow possibly forecasted up here for, you know, the ender parts of the fall months. You know, pretty much November, maybe early, late October and everything. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, right now this is just an outlook. So just want to make you aware of that. If you live in the upper Midwest, you could see some early snowfall this year. Yes, word, I know, it's scary. Going into pretty much the southeast and Gulf states, we are going to have it's going to be typical kind of fall-like weather and everything, a little above average for temperatures, and unfortunately the rain is going to be a little bit on the more than average side. However, we are going to have some dry pockets here and there, so it's not going to be a total washout. And hopefully it'll be nice, especially going into like the Cumberland Plateau, going into the Ohio River Valley, and then, you know, the Appalachians, Southern Appalachians. Hopefully it's good for, you know, fall colors and everything, going into the mountain areas to, you know, go some fall foliage. Hopefully the trees turn out to be very nice this year and everything, because it's been quite wet during the summer, so hopefully that helps with the color and everything going into October and November for parts of the Deep South. And then going into the rest of the East Coast, Mid-Atlantic and New England. Mid-Atlantic, pretty much you're going to be on par, pretty much, for the next few months with temperatures. However, we are going to be a little bit on the drier side than we want to see. Unfortunately, it's not a whole lot of rain coming in for the Mid-Atlantic, but, you know, hopefully it's not too bad where we don't get put into a drought and we get some rain, but unfortunately not a whole lot of rain is going to be forecasted for the fall months. New England, however, right now we are having a couple of shots of colder air come across the northern New England, so it definitely is going to feel like fall. However, October and November, they're forecasting above average temperatures for those months, so it's going to be kind of a mixed bag for New England. But right now, you are going to feel a bit more on the chillier side and feeling a lot more crisp in the mornings and fall-like coming into, you know, the next week or so. Precipitation-wise, a little on the drier side as well, but we could get a little bit more rainfall opposed to the Mid-Atlantic for these next 3 months and everything. So that's basically what we're going to be seeing for the fall, September, October, November, basically for the entire country. Fall officially actually does not start until September 22nd this year, which is the Monday. Just meteorologically, we start fall at the beginning of the month. So that's September 1st to October 31st. Those are our fall months and everything. So that is my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. I'll make another video for you later on. Maybe it's a little more interesting. Maybe not. If you have any suggestions, you can put them down in the comments box. And yes, Megan, who I mentioned at the beginning of the video, she's one of my co-workers. I love her to death and everything. She's amazing. Yes, this video was for you because you requested to have a video dedicated to you, so I'm dedicating it to you. And we need to go shopping. Like now. We need to go shopping. I need some fall clothes. I know you need some heels. So we should go to Georgetown and go shopping someday. Anyways, besides that, everyone else, remember to keep your eye to the sky, and I'll see you next time. Bye.